Hey everyone, how's it going? So sorry I haven't made a video since my review of Spider-Man No Way Home a month ago. I've been pretty busy with my job recently, and also in January, I was sick. Luckily, I tested negative for COVID. It was just a common cold. I had a sore throat, I was losing my voice, which kept me from recording videos. But luckily, I have recovered and I'm ready to make videos again. And since this year looks like an exciting and promising year for movies, I am excited to do my top 5 most anticipated movies of 2022. Although COVID is still going on, which means delays are likely to happen. For example, one movie I had in my top 5 list, it was Mission Impossible 7 that was supposed to come out in fall of 2022, but that recently got delayed to summer of 2023. So that movie is no longer on the list, and I'll likely talk about Mission Impossible 7 in my most anticipated movies of 2023 next year. And before we get into the top 5 list, I have 10 honorable mentions in alphabetical order, and I'm going to say them rapid fire, so here we go. Black Adam, Creed 3, Don't Worry Darling, Lightyear, Nope, The Northman, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Thor Love and Thunder, Top Gun Maverick, and Turning Red. All movies I'm looking forward to, and I hope they're good, but they didn't quite make the top 5 list. And with all that out of the way, let's get into the top 5 list. Starting off the list at number 5 is Babylon. This is Damien Chazelle's next movie, who directed Whiplash, La La Land, and First Man. I absolutely adored La La Land and Whiplash. I think those two movies are masterpieces. Although I don't think First Man is as good as those two movies, I still think it's a great and well-made film. And hearing about this project is making me very excited. And so far, the synopsis I'm hearing about online is that this takes place in the late 1920s and early 1930s, when silent films are starting to transition into talkies, and this is going to be a mix of historical and fictional characters. And the two leads are played by Brad Pitt and Margot Robbie, definitely a Once Upon a Time in Hollywood reunion here. And the release date, this is going to have a limited release in December this year, and it's going to have a wider release in January of 2023. So with the release date, I could see this being a possible Oscar contender. I can't wait for a trailer to come out, and I hope Damien Chazelle makes another great movie. At the number 4 spot is definitely my most anticipated MCU movie of the year, and that is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I like the first Doctor Strange movie, although it's not quite in my top 10 favorite MCU movies. It would be number 15 or 16 in my MCU ranking. And what gets me excited about this Doctor Strange sequel, Sam Raimi is directing from the Evil Dead trilogy, the Spider-Man trilogy, Oz the Great and Powerful. I'm really excited he's going to be back making another Marvel movie since Spider-Man 3 in 2007. And I feel like he's going to bring something unique to this movie, bring some horror elements to this Doctor Strange sequel. And I'm also excited that Scarlet Witch is going to be in this movie. And I'm glad ever since Civil War, Infinity War, and WandaVision, Scarlet Witch is starting to become a more compelling character. And Elizabeth Olsen was terrific in WandaVision, so I'm excited to see her in this movie. The teaser trailer for this movie was amazing. It looks darker than the first movie, the visual effects look terrific, and I'm really excited to see more of the multiverse. Since the MCU has been hinting at and building up the multiverse, I'm really excited to see what they do with it and how they could possibly expand on it. And I'm also hearing rumors about cameos, maybe the X-Men, Fantastic Four maybe, characters from Loki. We'll see. I am so excited to see what happens in this Marvel sequel. Just can't wait. At number 3 is another sequel I'm looking forward to, and that is Knives Out 2. I love Knives Out. It was one of my favorite films of 2019. It was such a funny, entertaining whodunit mystery film, and that movie didn't feel like a typical whodunit mystery film and did some interesting things with it. And I'm so excited to see Rian Johnson write and direct this sequel, and I'm really excited to see Daniel Craig return as Benoit Blanc. He was such a funny and entertaining character in the first movie, and now that Daniel Craig is done playing Bond, I'm excited to see him return for a Knives Out sequel, and I'm curious to see what mystery he's going to solve this time. And the supporting cast of this movie, awesome. Edward Norton, Dave Bautista, Ethan Hawke, Catherine Hahn, Agatha Harkness from WandaVision. Maybe she could have done it this time. I don't know. Kate Hudson, Janelle Monáe, Leslie Odom Jr. What a fantastic supporting cast we have here. And this sequel is actually going to be streaming on Netflix. And I'm hearing that they are aiming for a fall 2022 release date with this sequel. It doesn't have a confirmed release date yet, but I'm excited whenever this sequel is going to stream on Netflix. I just can't wait to see more Knives Out. At number 2 is my second most anticipated superhero movie of the year, and that is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1. I absolutely adored Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. With repeat viewings and further thought, that movie has topped Mission Impossible Fallout for my favorite film of 2018, and I regret not giving that movie 5 out of 5 stars when I originally saw it. That was such a unique and groundbreaking animated film and one of the best I've seen in years. And I was so excited for a sequel to see these characters return and what the story is going to be this time. And the teaser trailer of this movie already looks terrific, and especially with the animation. The first movie had a phenomenal, groundbreaking comic book style animation to it, but with the teaser, it looks like the animators are kind of stepping up their game a bit this time, which looks great. And two new characters I'm excited to see. One, Issa Rae as Spider-Woman, and second, Oscar Isaac as Spider-Man 2099. I'm definitely excited to see. This is definitely going to be the year of Oscar Isaac and Marvel, and in March he's going to be in the Moon Knight series streaming on Disney Plus, to which I can't wait. That looks great. This is definitely my most anticipated animated movie of 2022. I'm really looking forward to seeing what the story is going to be, and now it's going to be a back-to-back sequel with part 2 coming out next year, and it's going to be coming out this October. I'm just so freaking excited. And at the number 1 spot, easily, without question, it's The Batman. I have been waiting forever to talk about my excitement for this movie, and today's today. Batman is my favorite superhero, as you can tell by the shirt. I adore the Dark Knight trilogy. The Dark Knight is still my favorite superhero movie of all time, and in my top 3 favorite movies of all time. With everything I've been hearing and seeing from the trailers, this has potential to be the next great Batman movie. Matt Reeves directing, coming off after the Planet of the Apes films, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and War for the Planet of the Apes. And I love those 2 movies, and I couldn't be any more excited that he's directing a Batman movie. And I love just listening to him at the DC fandom panels, and just how passionate and well-spoken he sounds about this Batman movie. And listening to him, you can tell this is a director who knows what he's doing. And I'm loving what he's bringing to the table for his new take on Batman. Now it's going to be a noir detective story. It's going to be Batman in his 2nd year of crime fighting, and it's not going to be an origin story, to which I'm glad. Been there, done that. We don't need to see the origin story this time. And Robert Pattinson, I believe he could be the best Batman. And by the way, if you still think Robert Pattinson is the sparkling vampire from Twilight, please watch Good Time, watch The Lighthouse, watch Tenet. Robert Pattinson is a great and talented actor. He has come a long way since Twilight. I definitely think he's going to knock this role out of the park. And I just love how intimidating his Batman looks. Definitely looks like he's going to make this version of Bruce Wayne and Batman his own. And based on the trailers, the anger and vulnerability that Robert Pattinson is showing so far, he is definitely going to be terrific as Bruce Wayne / Batman. Zoe Kravitz also looks great as Catwoman. In the trailer, I'm liking the dynamic between her and Batman. And the actor that I am most excited to see in the Batman is definitely Paul Dano as Edward Nashton, aka the Riddler. And when I heard Paul Dano was cast as the Riddler in this movie, I was so enthusiastic because I think Paul Dano is a great and underrated actor. Definitely watch him in movies like Little Miss Sunshine, There Will Be Blood, Looper, Prisoners, 12 Years a Slave, Swiss Army Man. And in the trailer, I'm loving the mystery surrounding the Riddler. And we don't get to see his face that much. Maybe he's disfigured or a scar. I'm curious to see what his motivation is going to be, his history with the Wayne family. And this definitely looks like the most menacing version of the Riddler yet. And I'm loving this modern take on the Riddler. Now, his costume is definitely different from previous versions, and Matt Reeves has said this is going to be an emerging Riddler. And the supporting cast is excellent. Jeffrey Wright looks great as Lieutenant Gordon. Andy Serkis is obviously a fantastic choice for Alfred. And how they made Colin Farrell just so unrecognizable under that makeup as Oswald Cobblepot, aka the Penguin, just looks so amazing. I didn't recognize him when I first saw the teaser trailer. And although I heard Colin Farrell isn't going to have a lot of screen time as the Penguin in this movie, I'm definitely liking, from what I'm hearing, what they're doing with the Penguin, and that he's not quite the crime boss yet. He doesn't like being called the Penguin, and I'm definitely excited to see Colin Farrell's portrayal of the character. And also the music from Michael Giacchino, just listening to the Batman theme just gives me goosebumps. I love it. The fantastic cinematography, just such a beautifully shot film so far. And something that I think could be superior over the Nolan movies is definitely the hand-to-hand combat scenes. The fight choreography so far in the trailers definitely has a brutality, more of a speed to it. So I'm feeling this could be the best and most brutal Batman action yet. So many things I'm excited for. The Batman is easily my most anticipated movie of the year. March 4th, 2022. Just please come now. And that is my list for my top 5 most anticipated movies of the year. Definitely looks like a really good and promising year for movies. And let's hope these movies come out and hopefully they're good. And I'd like to hear from you guys. What are your most anticipated movies of 2022? Top 5 or top 10? Let me know below. And if you enjoyed this video, I'd happily appreciate it if you hit that like button and that subscribe button along with that notification bell for my next upload. And until the next upload, I'm Jack Benner, and look forward to another